Hello,
Hello. Hello, Miss Chhaya. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Thank you so much for asking.
I'm good as well. Thank you for asking. Right. So, how was your day?
My day was good. Just did my work.
Right. So, you took a lot of sessions, is it? Today also?
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about something interesting, which I'm pretty sure like you also agree with. So, home remedies is the topic of the day. So, shall we talk about that?
Yes. Before that, I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
So, last lecture we uh, saw that models. So now that I cleared,
Models. Mm-hmm.
I have doubt in that how to use it in hypothetical situation.
All right. So we'll talk about we understand how models express hypothetical or imagined or unreal situations. Okay,
Yes.
and we'll also learn the usage of would, could, might, should, would have, could have, might have, should have accurately. Also, we'll differentiate between present and future and past hypothetical situations. Also, we'll use modal structures confidently in conversations. Okay. Now,
Yes.
I'll ask you a few questions and I want you to answer those. Okay.
Okay.
If you won 1 crore rupees, what would you do?
I, I would mm, buy new house.
Mm-hmm. So, will you
Buy
get a new house with 1 crore?
yes.
Okay. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Uh, it could be on the sun, not sun.
Moon.
Mm, Sky. Yes, moon and sky.
Okay, so if you could live anywhere in the world, you would like to live on the moon. Okay.
Yes,
If you could have dinner with any famous person, who would it be?
famous cricketer like Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, so you would have dinner with Sachin Tendulkar. Okay. Now, if you could change one thing about your work or your workplace, what would it be?
Can you repeat?
So, if you could change one thing about your work or your workplace, what would it be?
Uh, so right now I'm taking online classes. So if I change one thing, so uh, it could be I uh, my yoga studio. I opened yoga studio.
Okay, you would open a yoga studio, isn't it? Okay. If you had one extra hour every day, how would you spend it?
Extra. I had spent. I spend it.
I
Uh,
would spend.
I would spend on grabbing extra skill in myself.
Okay. Right. So what you did was you said I would buy a house, I would live on moon, I would have dinner with Sachin Tendulkar, I would I would buy a yoga studio or I would open a yoga studio or I would build a new skill. So here in all the situations you used the word would.
Only
Okay.
wood.
So I mean as of now you use that, but we'll talk about the rest of the words also. Okay. Now, what is a hypothetical situation? It's a situation that is imagined, which is not real, which is unlikely, which is contrary to reality, right? जो हो नहीं सकता. Okay. For example, if I were rich, I would buy a yacht. Okay.
Yes,
Which means, I mean, this is just an example, which means I am not rich, but I am imagining the situation.
yes,
Okay. For example, again, we'll talk about the present or future hypotheticals. Present or future hypotheticals. So here we use the word would. would, would.
Would.
Okay. Yeah, for present and future,
Okay. Okay.
present and future hypotheticals, we use would, and it
Okay.
is used for most likely imagined result. We are using, or we use it only for most likely imagined. This might, this would happen. For example, the structure, I mean, the sentence structure over here is if plus past simple plus would plus the base verb. I have written that in the chat box. Okay.
Yes.
And this is how the sentence structure will be. For example, if I had more money, I would travel. If she lived nearby, she would visit us.
Okay.
Okay. This is again the possibility, or most likely imagined result.
Okay.
Next word is could, could. Here it expresses the possibility or ability. Okay. Could
Yes.
expresses the possibility or ability. हो सकता है या फिर कोई possibility. Okay. Could expresses the possibility or ability. For example, if I had more time, I could learn Spanish.
I had
अगर मेरे पास ज्यादा टाइम होता तो मैं स्पेनिश सीख लेती या फिर सीख पाती. If we owned a car, we could travel every week. राइट, अगर हमारे पास कार होती तो हम हर वीकेंड ट्रैवल कर पाते.
it is in past.
Yeah, we could means, in the present also. If we had, then we could.
Okay.
अगर हमारे पास कार होती तो हम ट्रैवल कर पाते. That's the present one. Okay. Next is the word might. Okay. This describes, or this expresses uncertainty.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of uncertainty which is not sure at all. Here, for example, if it stopped raining, it might, okay, we might go outside. अगर बारिश बंद हुई तो हम, हो सकता है कि हम जाएं. Might go outside. This is again for future. If it stopped raining, we might go outside. If he studied harder, he might pass. अगर वो अच्छे से पढ़ाई करता करेगा तो वो पास हो सकता है. Very less possibility, or it is very less certainty. Okay. Or expresses basically uncertainty. Next is should. Okay. Should expresses expectation or recommendation in hypothetical contexts. Okay. So
Yes.
if you should need help, call me. Okay. This is not very commonly used. Okay. Not very commonly used. This should expresses expectation or recommendation in hypothetical situations or hypothetical contexts. If anyone should ask, tell them I am busy. अगर कोई पूछे तो tell them I am busy. If you should need help, अगर आपको जरूरत पड़े तो मुझे कॉल करना. Okay. But this is not used mostly. Okay. Now if you should is a formal way of doing it.
Yeah.
फॉर्मल वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग. आप फॉर्मल सिचुएशन में या फिर फॉर्मल इंग्लिश में हम क्या बोलते हैं, लेकिन वी कैन यूज इफ यू शुड, बट अदरवाइज इफ यू नीड हेल्प कॉल मी, राइट. I mean, that is how informally it is said. Okay. Now talking about the past hypothetical situations. Past hypothetical situations. So here what happens is these describe the things that did not happen. Okay. This describes the things that did not happen. For example, would have. Would have means it is the imagined result. अगर would have हो सकता था, यहाँ पे हम इमेजिन, हम रिजल्ट क्या कर रहे हैं, इमेजिन कर रहे हैं. Would is for present and future, but would have is for हो सकता था. This is for the past. Okay. If I had studied harder, I would have passed.
Mm.
Okay. This is to talk about the past situations. Okay. Again, could have. Could have is used to talk about the missed ability or missed opportunity. Okay, for example, if she had left earlier, she could have caught the train. Okay, if she had left earlier, she could have caught the train. So, sorry, train. All right. Next is might have. Might have is used to talk about the possible result. Okay, might have, which means possible, again past result, not present or future, to talk about the past result. Might have, for example, if they had invited me I might have gone. अगर वो invite करते तो शायद मैं चली जाती. Might have. Okay. Next, should have is to talk about the regret or criticism. Okay, to talk about regret or criticism we use should have. We should have, I should have, मुझे कर देना चाहिए था. Right, that is the expressing regret. For example, you should have apologized. Okay, तुम्हें apologize कर देना चाहिए था. That is the uh, the regret. Okay, or the criticism also. All right, now we'll talk about the, again, situation and the structure, and what we are supposed to use, and then the example. Okay, for imagined result we use would. For example, if I were taller I would play basketball. Okay, I'll give you all the three things in one line so that you would be able to understand it. Okay. Okay, so no, it's not coming like that, but still, for imagined result we use would. Okay, for example, if I were taller I would play
Bas-
basketball. But this is for possible ability we use could. Okay, this will help you better. And the example is, if I had a car I could drive to work. For possible ability. Okay, for uncertain result. Uncertain result, it is might. Okay.
yes.
Next is, if it snowed we might stay home. This is one example. Okay, uncertain result. And here
Stay
in when we have uncertain result we use might. Okay. Next is formal possibility. Again, this is used only in formal situations. Okay, formal possibility is we use should. Okay, as I said, if you should see him let me know. Okay, if you should see him let me know. All right, next is to talk about, okay, give me a second. To talk about the past imagined result. Give me a second. Past imagined result we use would have. For
would
example, I would have helped. Next is to talk about the missed opportunity. What do you think we should use in missed opportunity?
might
Missed opportunity. Opportunity. We use could have,
would have
right? Could have. For example, she could have won.
would have one
Next, again, possible past. It is,
might have
I'm sorry?
might have
Yes, might have. Next is, the example is, they might have forgotten. Okay.
yes
Next is a regret. What do you think we should use while regret?
should
While
have
talking about regret? Yes. To for regret, we use should have. And can you give me an example?
I should have gone.
Yeah, I should have gone. You should have called. Right? Okay. Now you will have to choose the correct modal for this. If I had more free time, I dash travel more.
If I have,
Is that would or have or must? If I had more free time, I dash travel more.
I would travel more.
I would travel more. If she had left earlier, she dash have caught the bus. Is that should, could, or must?
Could.
She could have. If we had known about the event, we dash have attended. Might, must, or can.
We might have attended.
We might have attended. If I were you, I dash accept the offer. Would have or may.
Uh, if I were you, I would would
Yeah, I would accept the offer. You dash have told me the truth. It's should, can, or will.
should.
Should. You should have told me the truth. Okay. Now I'll write a few sentences in the chat box and I want you to fill those gaps using the proper modal verbs. Okay. If I had enough money, here you don't have any options, but you'll have to work on your understanding. Okay. If I had money or if I had enough money, I dash buy a beach house.
I would have. I would buy a beach house.
Yes. If I would have enough money, I would buy a if I had enough money, I would buy a beach house. Okay. Next,
She would have the competition.
if she had practiced more, she
Would have.
no,
Would have.
she sorry, can you repeat that?
She could have won the competition.
She could have won the competition. Okay.
If they had invited us, we should have attended.
No,
If they had invited us, we would have attended.
no,
Might have.
yes, we might have attended. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
The manager. If I were the manager, I would change the work schedule.
If I were the manager, I would
Change the schedule, work
change
schedule.
the schedule. Okay. Right. Okay. Next one.
If he had studied harder, he would have passed.
He would have passed.
We would have taken a taxi. We might have arrived on time.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. Okay.
If you should use systems, you must call me.
No.
You have to call me.
Okay, so it is if you should need any assistance, you should call me, right? You should call her.
Yes.
All right. Next one. If she knew the answer,
If
she
she
dash.
knew the answer, she might tell us.
No.
She could tell us. She knew the answer. She
If
would
she
tell
knew the
us.
answer, she would tell us. Okay.
If they should have avoided the accident if they had been more careful.
Okay. If they,
Should have.
if they know,
If they might have avoided the accident,
no, 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 no. They dash have avoided the accident if they had been more careful.
they would have,
No,
uh, could have.
they could have, right? They could have. They could have avoided the accident if they had been more careful.
If I could meet anyone in history, I just choose Albert. If I could meet anyone in history, I could choose Albert Einstein.
I would choose.
I would
I
choose.
would choose. Okay. All right. So you will have to spot the errors and you'll have to correct this. If I had money, I will buy a house.
If I had money, I would buy a house.
Okay.
She could have won the race.
She could have won the race. If
If
he
he could,
studied harder, he will
he
pass.
would pass.
I'm sorry?
He would pass.
He would pass. You should have apologized
You
yesterday.
should apologize. It is correct.
Yes, it is correct. Okay, next one.
If I knew the answer, I can tell you. If I knew the answer, I could tell you.
I could tell you. Okay. All right. So, Miss Chaya, we are at the end of the session. I hope that you have understood. You have understood the difference between the hypothetical situations like could have, should have, can,
It is
could, might.